welcome to Softer Side. My name is Rebecca Redican. You can call me Becky, and it's so lovely to be with you today. Well, I say today, this is the past, because this is a pre-record. I thought I'd just let you know now, in case you start trying to get social and you feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm not, but do feel free to have a good old natter amongst yourselves, and I tell you what, I have got so much for you to natter about today. I've got brand news, I've got bargainacious deals, and I've got the fabulous Bernie. Hi, Bernie.
Hi, Becky. Yes, so while everyone's watching this at home, I'm having a well-earned day off. So we're doing this pre-record because we didn't want you to miss out on a show. How fabulous is that? And wait, Becky, until you see what I've got in my carry-all today.
Oh, I cannot wait. We have got so many goodies for you, including the brand new Who Loves Fabric? Yeah, me too. Even if you're not a seamstress, you are going to adore these fabrics for the likes of your mixed media. I am bringing to you a range of treats. This one here is your Country Life, and this is on the grey, deep, rich grey, one of the Pantone colours of the year, with that incredible scene upon it. That's not your only option. You've got the cream version as well. Look at those Highland cows. We've been cooing, or should it be mooing, over them all morning. You've got that option as well. Then I have the green background option for you. Really great unisex ones, these. Not stopping there though. We're also bringing to you today the cow, parsley and bee on grey fabric. The texture of this is going to be great for homeware. Really pretty indeed. Then I'm bringing to you the same, but this time it's on your green fabric. All of these individually $6.99, remember, or $10.49 if you wish. Then I've got the one in the earth colour. This one has got a really all year round feel to it. Great one again for your homeware. Who loves the hen? Oh yeah, have a little look at these ones. These are your hens, and they're on that beautiful duck egg blue fabric. Really pretty indeed. And you've got that real rich colour to them, and they're so full of life. That's not all I've got on the show for you though. I've got some more treats on the way, including the bag and shape creator. Now these are useful to say the least, carrying everything you need, cutting shapes perfectly, including the dreaded circle. All of this does it for you, nice, neat, quick and easy, and we've got an offer on today. So if you do want to seize the moment, your information's there. Don't forget, if it's your first order, you just pay the platinum price. So do feel free to seize the moment, and we're going to be diving straight into this, aren't we, Bernie?
We are. I love the shape creator. We had the big one that we launched a couple of years ago. That was actually my first show when I ever did with Crafter's Companion. So yeah, it's great how it's evolved since then, and now we've got the junior version. If people didn't want the bigger one, you've got the junior one, but also this crafty carry-on. I love it. I love it. This is 17.5 inches by 23.5 inches, so you're going to get a lot in here. Now it looks narrow. It looks to me like, you know, like my sister used to have one when she was at art college, a portfolio.
Oh yes,
that sort of design. But the zip opens quite a way, so it does open quite wide. Wait till you see what I can fit in it. So in mine today, I brought all my stuff in. So I have my crafty tote bag. It's full of me stuff, not as full as Debbie Robinson's, I must add. So I had that, but everything else I brought in here. But when I was teasing you, I'll get my mat out, what I've got is some of that fabric. So Becky, you haven't even got any of this over there, have you? Because I've got it.
You've stolen it all.
Look at it.
I love it.
Look at this. So I've got these. This is the... which was the country life
one, yeah.
With all the animals on dark grey. I mean, look at the little Highland cow and the little sheep. Gorgeous. Oh no, is that a ram? A ram and a sheep and little ducks and the pigs. Absolutely fantastic. And then the little hens on the duck egg. And this one I love. I thought this was gypsophilia at first, but it's cow, parsley and bee, and there's little bees on there as well.
Adorable.
And this is the one on green, but can you see how very muted? It's a very muted palette. I love that. That's my, if I've got a go-to fabric to go to, it's muted colours. Although I love all fabric, obviously, you know, I don't pass up on any fabric at all. But yes, I'm going to be cutting into them today during the show.
Great.
But I just want to show you, I mean, obviously I've shown on previous shows because this has been out for a couple of, well, 3 or 4 weeks now. I've shown on previous shows what you can fit in here. And one thing that you haven't seen, Becky, is I'm actually going to fit the sewing machine in.
Eh?
I know. So that's what I was saying about it being wide. You've got lots of pockets in there. You've got that zip pocket on the front. But actually, I'm going to fit the sewing machine in. So here we go.
Blimey.
It actually fits in and it zips up. So if you're going off to classes or, you know, away to family members for the weekend, you know, it's not made for the sewing machine.
But it works.
But it works.
Great.
Fits in, and then you've still got loads of more room to put in as well. So yeah, so it even fits the sewing machine in. So it's quite deceiving of how much you can get in there.
It's like the TARDIS.
Yes. Well, the Mary Poppins bag, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's have a look at this shape creator. Now, you mentioned there about doing the circles, Becky. That's one of my favourite things that the shape creator does, is use the circle. You can cut circles out on it. And you're going to look and think, well, how on earth can you do that? Actually, if I move, there we go, you can see it better on the white there. If I turn it round, can you see how each corner is a different size on here? And then it's got the lines on. These are for you to make. You can make 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch circles with that. But then also in here, it's full of slits. So if you haven't seen those shape creators before, this is the junior one. And you've got little slits in there, and your rotary cutter is going to go up there, which I'm going to show you how you cut them. But to show you a couple of quick sample, I mean, look at this.
Oh, I love this
You can go from cutting little thin strips like that on here. You can make this whole thing on with your shape creator, because you're going to cut your strips, your borders, your backing, your binding. You can actually cut your wadding through here as well. Also, you can cut your triangles, your squares, your diamonds, your hexagons. I love this. Absolutely fantastic. You've got here your hexagons and your triangles, which are all cut with the shape creator, and then all of these sashin strips as well. Everything is done on this tool. So if you want to go to tool, or if you're going to workshops and you're going to be cutting a lot of different shapes, this is ideal for doing a number of things. And then look, this is
this is fab.
How do you know how simple is that, but how effective of just use? And you know, you can do this has been hand stitched, a running stitch all the way around, and applique down, but you can do a machine stitch on there. You can do your free motion, which we're going to be doing a lot of in this show. So there's a lots of, and again, all of this can be made with that shape creator. Lovely for scraps, that one as well, isn't it? Oh, definitely. A real good scrap buster. Now, I'm using here our A2 mat and the 28mm rotary cutter. So I know we've got these on an offer on the show. But I just thought that I would show you how easy it was to cut. Now, I've got here, now I've cut into this one, look, because I've been making another sample. But I've got a ½ metre, essentially, of fabric here. In fact, let me get one that I've got a full length of, because that'll be better for you to see, that one.
And how does it feel if no one's bought fabric from us before?
It feels beautiful. I mean, this is Lewis and Irene. Lewis and Irene is quality fabric. The best way is you can feel how cool it is. And the good thing that you can watch us using the fabric is we can you know, let you know that quality. It's lovely and soft. They wash lovely. They iron lovely as well.
Oh, great.
It is really quality fabric.
Brilliant.
Because when I started, I must admit I would buy cheaper fabric, as you do, but you soon realise that you need to buy one with a little bit more quality, just to get the best project when you've finished, to get the best results.
Yes.
So what I've done with this fabric here, I've got the full width of the fabric and I've got it folded over twice. So you can see there, I've got my self edges up there and I've got my fold. And then what I'm doing is I've got the shape creator and I'm going to use the grid line. So you've got grid lines going across as well. You've also got your angles, which is going to help you with your triangles and your diamonds and your hexagons, etc. And all the instructions are written on here. And there's also full videos online. I mean, if you search for the original one that I did, I went into detail and showed you how to cut every single shape on there, so it was really great. And then what I'm doing is I'm lining up this first groove here, which is 0, and that's going to be just on that edge there, and I'm going as far as I dare to the edge because I don't want to waste any fabric. And then I'm going to take my rotary cutter, and then what happens is you've got a diamond here. That's for you to help you start getting your blade in, but once you've done this a few times, you'll find that you get more used to putting it in, because what happens is you're normally used to cutting up the side, so you normally used to cutting up the side here of a ruler, which, to be fair, you can if you just want to do the straight edge. But you're going to put the blade through that groove and cut all the way up, and that's now trimmed that our raw edge. So we're starting with a straight edge. Now, normally what you do is move your ruler, move that scrap out the way, reposition your ruler to measure it. You don't with this one. So say I want a 2.5 inch strip, I'm going to go along to the 2.5 inch groove, and I'm cutting through 4 layers of fabric here.
Amazing.
I'll cut another one. If you're doing binding, this is ideal for that, because you can go doo, 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 and you can have all your binding strips cut without moving anything except you and the rotary cutter. You're just going to work your way along, and then you get in these strips, which are the full length of the fabric, in one pass. Okay, and that's going to be accurate. And then here, there's that little diddy bit of waste at the beginning, so we're not wasting much on there. Now, if I want to cut, let's say, a 4-inch strip. Let's cut a 4-inch strip this time. And I'm going to turn this into a diamond and then a hexagon. There we go. So I've cut a 4-inch strip.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to cut a hexagon. And in the hexagon instructions, it tells you to follow the instructions above for a diamond, which I'm going to do. And then we've got the lines on here, which are 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, both ways, and the centre point. So you're going to line your fabric up, and you can use your mat for this as well. You can use the lines on your mat as well, because all of our mats have those diagonal lines on as well. But I'm going to put the fabric on there. There we go. And you can see how I've turned the shape creator, because I'm getting it onto the 60-degree line, and that's what my instructions are telling me to do. Now, I'm going to waste loads of fabric there, so I'm just going to move that down a bit, because we don't want to waste anything.
No, it's so beautiful.
And whatever width the fabric, I cut it at 4 inches, so that figure is in my head. So again, I'm lining this up here, and I'm going to cut at the knot line. So this is, I'm going to make a diamond. So I'm going to cut at the knot line, then I'm going to cut at the 4 line. So when I cut it there, we've now got a 60-degree diamond.
Perfect.
Okay, and then to turn it into a hexagon, I'm going to line it back up, and what it tells you is cut half of the original strip width from each end of the diamond to cut hexagon, and you're going to go, what? So the thing to think about is half of 4 is 2. So I'm going to find the 2 line, I'm going to line up the top and bottom points of my diamond with the 2 line, and then I'm going to cut at 0, and I'm going to cut at 4. And then when I take that off, I've now got the perfect hexagon. But I've also got these little triangles, so don't waste those. They can be used in a project as well.
Great.
To pop those together.
Love it. And
then if you wanted to cut a circle, let me just get a... You would start off with a square. Let's cut a 3-inch circle. So I'm going to find the side that's the 3-inch, which is this one. So I'm left-handed, so I'm moving mine around so it's comfortable for me to cut this way. You're going to get a square-ish of fabric, or again, your scraps.
Yeah.
I mean, this has got the curved edge on. You're going to fold it in half, and then fold it in half again. And just make sure that your folds are really lined up with each other. And then where you've got the 2 folds here, you're going to put that under the shape creator and line it up with that line on the shape creator.
Great.
And this is where the 28mm comes in great, because you're coming round this curve.
Lovely.
I'm going to cut around there, and you're just going to take your time. And then when I take this out, I Put the other, it'll stand out more that way. I've got a 3-inch circle, but also if you've used a square, I know I haven't, but if you've used a square, you've now got a square with a circle cut out. So actually, you can use that. Oh, I'm going to frame my little Highland cow.
Yeah.
This is called like reverse applique, that's called.
So cute.
So really, again, if I had cut a square of that, you're not wasting anything as well. There's no waste. So yeah, so that's the shape. It's a really good one to have, Becky. Like I say, it's quite portable as well. Also, if you're working in a small space, you can cut all of those shapes. So although I've got loads of templates and rulers, and obviously I've got all of ours as well. But if you're going somewhere compact and you just want something quick, like to take with you, take this, and then you can make your choice when you get to your destination.
It really is fab. Thanks so much for showing us that, Bernie. This genuinely is wonderful. And I would say that if you are new, maybe this is the first time you're tuning in, you've spoken to someone about maybe getting into soft crafting, you're interested, this is a great tool for beginners, because trust me, as someone who loves sewing myself, I know how tricky it can be, especially starting off, to get those shapes perfect. With this, you've seen how easy it is. You don't have to remeasure. You don't have to move your ruler all over, which can go a bit wonky. It's done and dusted for you. This is your junior, which means it's the portable size. Don't let that make you think it can do less than the original. It's just that it's a nice smaller size if you've got a smaller area. And then you've got the carry-all bag. This is obviously great if you are traveling, if you are going to be taking this places. But actually, again, if you're starting out, it's a great way to keep things like your cutting boards and your shape creators all nice and neat in one place so you don't lose them. Today, not only are you getting something versatile and usable, whether you're a beginner or you've been sewing for years, you're also getting that wonderful discount. Today, you're saving nearly £11 or nearly $13, unless you're platinum, where you're saving a whole heap more. So do treat yourself to that one today. If you're into quilting already, you are gonna love our border quilting treats. We have got a collection of 4 patterns here for you. And what that means is you have the opportunity to create that wave finish. That's the one in the bottom corner there. I have also got for you your heart, this detailed design. Then I've got for you the decorative petal, and we've got the jewel over there too. These help you create really nice, crisp and professional looking finishes. But what I think's really cool about them is, depending on how you position them, it can give you a really different look depending on how you use them and position them, can't it, Bernie?
It can, and there's so many options here as well that, you know, I don't know which one to play with. You know, you look at them and think, oh, what can I do? What can I do? I'll just show you. Our Tricia in our design team does, I would say, like swatches, if you like, of all the different things you can make and more. So this is just a taster, really. But if we look at the different shapes that you're going to be getting using the guides, and these are the border ones, remember, so we sort of categorising them as you can use them for borders, but you can use them as a spiral as well, as a rotating. So, you know, the world's your oyster there. I love this one, the little heart. So cute. Isn't it cute? Because you get the big heart, but then we give you the little heart built in, so you're getting 2 for 1. You know, and there's just so many. There's the two little hearts there, but you could have them sort of joining on, so they go like that way as well. So you could join them on and make totally different patterns. You can overlap them as well. Again, you can spiral, that's half the heart.
Love it.
All the way around. I love this one. That's absolutely great. Fantastic.
Very
that's
nautical,
the petal, isn't it? Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And then you can go for the little diddy one as well. So there's lots of different designs. If you want a wider pattern as well, you can go wider. And then we've got...
And that's all just with these 4 tools.
That's just with these 4. And that's just to say, that is just the tip of the iceberg, that. But the one thing I wanted to show you, Becky, is how you set up your machine. So if you've not done free motion work before, it's the same thing. That's what you're doing. You're just using the quilting pattern guide with it. But you just want to set up your machine first. Now, what we do have on the show as well is the reference guide, which is going to help you line up a lot of your work. And also, we have the foot. So I have the low shank here because our Gemini Stitch Pro is the low shank. But what I'm going to show you is how to tell if yours is low shank or high shank, or even a specialist foot, because some machines do have specialist feet. I have a semi-industrial machine at home, and this is the ruler foot for that.
Ivy.
It wasn't cheap. Yeah. It wasn't cheap. It definitely wasn't a good bargain like you can get today if you've got the low shank one or the high. So yeah, so some machines do one. So you can contact your manufacturer, but most domestic machines will be the low shank. So the first thing you want to do is you want to be getting on your sewing machine and take off your accessory box if you've got an extension table that you can put on. If you haven't, you can build up like books and things around.
Great.
You know, you can do that. That's the first thing you're going to do. And then to see, if I turn it this way, and then you can see how you do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the foot off your machine and the little screw on the side, and then that's the ankle as well. And if you keep your ankle attached to your foot, you've got less chance of losing it.
Ah, right, yes. Good tip.
Okay, so yeah, so you're going to keep it together like that.
Lovely.
Okay, so we're just going to pop that in there out the way. Okay, now, then you're going to put your foot back down. So you'll have a lever at the back that lifts up your foot. So you're going to pop that down. And then what you're going to do is measure from the centre of that, where that screw goes in, down to your base plate.
Okay.
If it measures about 1/2 inch, it's a low shank foot.
Okay, that's on the bottom of the screen now.
If it measures more, then chances are it's going to be a high shank foot, or it could be a specialist foot. So if yours doesn't measure low shank, then I would definitely contact your manufacturer. If your manufacturer should be able to let you know. If you can't get in touch with your manufacturer, contact customer services. They'll send you details to me, and then I'll work out what your machine is for you, so you know which one to get. So we're going to take the screw out, and this is the fiddliest bit. This is the fiddliest bit. All you're going to do is take the screw out and pop this on. So if you've ever put a walking foot on your machine before, or other feet where you have to take that ankle off, it's the same, exactly the same principle, but you just need to get that in there. And sometimes it'll go in first time, and you can guarantee when I'm doing it live on air that it doesn't. So you just be a little bit patient.
And I suppose it's easier when you're not in the studio, because you don't want to get your head in the way, do you, for the cameras?
That's true, yeah.
In real
You've
life.
got to keep everything out of the way for everyone to
In real life, I bet you're sort of an inch away from it, aren't you?
And then what you want to do is, what I do is, you can see my back finger, I've got it on the foot, that screw's still loose. I've got that raised up as far as it'll go. And then on mine, I know that I need to drop it a little bit. And that's where you need to alter it. So when you start stitching and you have a little practice, if you find your stitching isn't working properly, or you're skipping stitches, it's not your tension. So the first thing people are going to go to is the tension on the machine, but normally it's the height of your foot.
Great.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the other thing you're going to do is drop your feed dogs. So I've got a little switch on the back where I've dropped my feed dogs. If you don't have the drop feed facility, put your stitch on 0 length. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to have a scrap. Now I'm going to show you this is one of my test pieces, one of my scraps. You can see where I've been practicing getting my tension right on them, different colours. I don't unpick it, I just leave it on there. So this is where I've been doing different colours at home. Oh, I've used a variegated there. I can't remember what I used that on. We make a nice little pattern. And then what that's going to do, well, I haven't put my extension table on, but I'll do this first. What I'm going to do is I've dropped the needle in, and then I've brought it back up, and I'm just bringing that lower thread back up, because if you don't do that, sometimes it can get in a little bit of a knot underneath, and you don't want it to jam. So you're going to do a few little stitches on the spot, and then all you do is you are moving the machine, you're guiding the machine. There we go. So I want to do that, and I've just snapped my top thread, so I need to rethread, but that's fine because I've got the next bit to do. So if I show you on here, we can see that my stitches are fine on the top. If I look on the bottom, there's no skip stitches on the bottom neither. So I know that that tension is fine for that.
Great.
Okay. So that's my tension sorted. So the other thing is you want your extension table. Where have I put it? There we go. And like I say, if you don't have an extension table, you can always have books piled up around or something, or a shoebox or something like that, just to get that extra workspace, if you like. So I'm going to put on my extension table. I'll tell you why it's doing that, because I've got it sat on my mat and me reference guide. And then now, obviously, you would make sure yours is threaded. I need to rethread my top, but now you're ready to start doing it. So the next thing you want to do is start working out your design. So with the reference guide, this is where you can start planning. So if we look at one of the ones that, there's a rotating one that Trisha's done. There we go. So if we look at this one here, we can see how Trisha's left her chalk marks on here.
Yeah.
And don't they look very equal? Because she's used the reference guide. And what this is going to help you do is plan your project out. So if it's a cushion front or a quilt or whatever that you're working on, you need to just work out whereabouts you're going to have your design. So if I wanted to use the border ones and do a spiral one like this, I need to find it. So I'm going to grab my heat erasable pen. I know we've got these back in stock. They were out of stock for ages, Becky, and I was like, when's the pens coming? When's the pens coming? And then they landed and I was like, yes, the pens are back. So I use these all the time. I'm going to have to get some more because I've run out of blue. I've used all my blue.
Oh, I know.
So you've got a centre spot here. So that's key for your centre point. And then here, you've got all of these lines. Now, I'm not measuring these lines, I'm just drawing them in through that grid. There is a measuring guide from 2 inches up to 12, actually it goes to 13, the outer side. If you wanted to make a particular placement, so if you wanted everything to fit in, say, an 8-inch square.
I see.
You can draw or you can dot out. So at 8 inches, you could put a dot, and when you take it off, you know that's your grid. But also, there's some other lines on here, and what that does, you can rotate. So if I rotate it slightly, and line the dot up in the centre back with the hole in there, all the lines I've just drawn are underneath those solid lines.
Yes.
And now I can draw again.
Hey, that's so clever.
So you've got, isn't it? You've got 16 points. Now the other thing is, this isn't just for your quilting pattern guides. This is for anything where you want to place items on your work. It's perfect for applique. You know, well, I know my mind, but I think it's a thing of the human mind that wants to make everything parallel and equal. But look at that. So you've got equal points on there. And on the back of the packaging as well, it gives you examples of how to do different designs. Especially when we come to look at the rotating ones, you need the 16 points. If you tried to measure them out with the angles on your ruler, you're not going to have it as accurate. But for it to be going round like this, to get it accurate, that's what you need. So we've covered how to set up the machine. We've covered the reference guide. We've shown them. I want to show you this quilt that Alison,
I love this.
Alison, if you're watching, our design team made this. This is stunning. And I'm going to get the pattern guide and just show you how it works on there. So we've just got, this is called a flying geese design here, where you've got triangles, 2 small triangles. Again, you can do that on your shape creator. The strips here, you can do on your shape creator. And if I just get the pattern guide, this is the wave. So I'll take it out. I'm going to lie it on top just so you can see how it's going to work. So here's the wave here, and we've got a double line on here, but it actually sits like this. And what happens is it stitches, this gap here is 1/2 inch, and your stitch goes right in the middle. So Alison stitched all the way around there. She stopped here, but she's left a needle down in a machine. You wiggle it back round, and then you lie it down again, and you do the same again. So it's continuous. So you're not going to have loads of threads to tie in and finish off. But to make it extra special, she's then gone and done it again, but at a slightly off angle with it, like it's sort of parallel to it, back round again, and done it again and gone all the way down and continued. So it's ever, you know, you can go on as long as you want. If you've got an extra long table runner or a bed runner, if you're making a bed runner, you know, it's quite long, and to me, if you're going to be starting with this, start off with a small project. But if you've got a narrow item like that, you know, you're not going to have any problems fighting, because that's one thing people say, oh, I can't quilt on my machine because I've got to fight with it to get it underneath. If you do something quite narrow, and to be fair, this is classed as quite narrow, it's not a big, huge quilt, that's a perfect one to start practicing on. And it's definitely practice, so don't be off put. I'm going to use a few more throughout the show, but don't be off put. Have you ever done free motion before, Becky?
Yes, I love it.
I'm going to get you getting some pattern.
I know, I haven't used them before, so I need to. If you do want to give these a go, do make sure you're getting the right equipment. Bringing to you the border quilting pattern guides, that if you do want to grab those, you can get all of them. We have also got for you, of course, the pattern guide, and this is the one with the low shank foot. So again, if it measures around about sort of half an inch, a little bit under, then this is the one you want. If you want that collection, there you go, $24.99. That's a half price deal you've got there. If you would like it with the high foot, then that offer is about to come on screen now. So do just check which one you've got. I'm thinking with this board as well, I love doing my mandala art, my dot art. This is so much easier than going around measuring. Do treat yourself if you want that one. Now, who loves quilting pattern guides in general? Yeah, I've got you a bundle here. And I think this bundle is gonna make you smile, because these are your rotating pattern guides. So although on these pattern guides you're looking in, you're thinking, all right, Bex, I've got, you know, 1, 2, 3 different shapes on this. Actually, using them in different manners and rotating them creates a completely different look. In this bundle, I'm going to be bringing to you a big selection of different shapes. So I've got the orange peel double one there for you. I am also bringing... Oh, sorry, I've swapped it around. That's my fault. We have also got for you in here the... this one's got that beautiful border detail, which again, look how many different designs you can do with this to create that different effect. That one's the apple core. We've got your circles here. The circles you can use, look at that sort of rainbow-like design that you've got, or ones that do pinwheel effects. Then I'm bringing to you as well the clamshell. So the clamshell gives you this almost mermaid tail kind of effect. And again, making it so much easier for you. It says it's a 3-in-1, but as you can see, there's so many more different designs. When we're talking about the rotating ones, you've got the kind of detail here that pairs in with them really nicely. And the rotating ones give you that professional finish each time, even if you're new. And this is the great thing about these guides. They are easy for you to be able to use. And they are going to give you almost like a mandala style design with lots of different patterns, just to let you know you can use these with your low shank or with your high shank. It completely depends which one you yourself have. So that was your kaleidoscope. I've also got for you here your petal. Then I'm bringing to you the mandala, and I've got for you the medallion as well. So with these ones, lots of different techniques. All come with really great detailed instructions, which I really appreciate. To be able to get those, to be able to work with something new, £28.78 if it is your first order, or $39.92. That's also if you're a platinum, don't forget. It's a really good way of trying to sort of get your head around something a little bit different and a little bit new. So choose which option is good for you, because these types of things really do make your life easier, don't they, Bernie?
They do, because if you try to do this just by eye, and if it goes really wonky, you kick yourself. I do when I'm doing something. If it's not quite straight or how I want it,
yeah.
Having these, it is a guide. And what it's going to do is guide your foot, sort of hugs the side of the guide, so you can't go off.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And like you were saying, Becky, on the back, especially with the rotating ones, we give you very detailed and instructions of how to construct those designs in an 8-point and a 16-point. So you know when we were doing the reference guide and we put all those lines on, that's perfect for doing these ones, and we give you that full detail. And I've done videos on these as well, so you can go and watch the videos of all of these.
Okay.
But I just want to show you the effect that those get as well. So this is an 8-point one here. And this one, this wasn't the mandala, this is medallion, I think. Let me get the name right, I don't want to give you the wrong name, medallion. So this is the medallion one, so that's if you went round 8 times in a spiral. It's fitting a really good size as well. So if you're doing blocks for a quilt or a cushion front, you're not going to need a lot of it to get that effect in there. But look at it when you do it 16 times. How fantastic is that? You're talking like mandala side. I was saying on a show a few weeks ago about if you've got fabric paints or pens or things to colour in.
Oh, gorgeous
would be
idea.
Absolutely fantastic. I do that with patterns on my embroidery machine because the embroidery machine will give you the design and then I colour it in. But actually, what I hadn't thought about was at that time was doing it with this, doing that, and then colouring the piece in. And then you've got the little smaller. This is the inside of the medallion. You've got an extra one in there, so you're getting a really sort of small design. And then this is the mandala. This is lovely. I mean, look at that.
Wow.
That's like looks like a sunflower, doesn't it? Some sort of, a peony, is it? I'm not sure on my flowers.
Peony,
but I'll just whiz through these so you can just see the different effects. And again, you can see those lines where that reference guide is invaluable. Look at that. Reminds me of Spirograph. When I was,
I was just thinking that.
And look, I mean how great you could really make that 3D with colour, couldn't you? And stitching these out in variegated threads as well, you know, it's absolutely amazing. But look, this is the kaleidoscope.
They're just fab, aren't they?
They're just brilliant.
Oh, I love
them.
them.
Then putting them on a quilt. Oh, have we got variegated thread on this one? Let me show you. So this is the back of the quilt. You can see if I show you this one here.
Lovely.
This one, we've got the mandala one here in that 16-point. This is the back.
Lovely.
You know what I mean? It's so great that you get the thing. If I open the quilt up, that's the front. Brilliant. This is one piece of fabric. So there's no patchwork involved here at all. It's one piece of fabric, and then you are doing your work, your design, onto that plain fabric. And if you're not very confident with it, use a lighter colour. So we've got a lighter colour, or use the same colour. The one thing when I first started out doing quilting, if it was a little bit wonky or off and I wasn't very happy with it, I would sit and pick it out. And then someone said to me, try matching your colour or using a really, really busy pattern. So even busier than this sort of pattern, a really small ditzy pattern on the back. And then when your stitching's on the other side, if you've gone a little bit wonky, it's not going to show because you've got that pattern. With this, you can just go for it on the single fabric. So that's what I'm going to do.
Great.
That's what I'm going to do. Which one shall I use? Which one? You choose one, Becky.
Oh, can we go for let's go for the kaleidoscope, you know.
Kaleidoscope.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, that's the one that I've got out. Yeah, we can do that one. Brilliant. Right. So with that fabulous fabric, I've been a busy, busy bee, and I've made myself a little cushion front. Now, excuse me, all I've used on here is the shape creator. I cut 4.5-inch squares, 9 of those, to make my centerpiece. And then I cut 2.5-inch strips for the sides and stitched them together. And that's my cushion front. And then what I've done is we've got the batten on the show, so I've got a piece of batten. I always do it about an inch or half an inch wide around the outside when I'm quilting, just in case it moves a little bit. And then I've used you can see how that's sticking to. I sprayed this yesterday, and it will come away still because it's a temporary stick and spray. So all you're going to do, give you a kind of good shake. Short, sharp bursts. There we go. On the wadding, always spray your wadding. Oh, what's in my hand? I sprayed too much down onto the thing. And then that's going to stick down. And I always give that a little iron over as well. I always give me fabric on my wadding and my stick and spray. I always then give it a little bit of a spray and an iron. Right, so we're going to look at saying, well, we've got the reference guide.
Yeah.
I want to find the centre of my square. So I cut these at 4.5, so I know my square there is 4 inches. So we've got that grid on here, which is, I'm lining up the 4-inch grid. So I know now if I put my little mark in there, I've got the perfect centre. Now what you can do is with patchwork, you can use your lines of your work to line it up. So I'm just going to put a little line just on each corner of that inner square, just so I can line it up. And when you see the pattern guide now, on the pattern guide, there's actually a crosshair, and there's also another little hole. So again, you can get your centre point in, and you've got those crosshairs on so you can line it up. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to line up my centre point there, and my grid line, my other line here, my crosshair, is just matching up with that little mark I made there.
Great.
So I know that that's going to go around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 opposite that way and 2 opposite that way, and that will have quilted the front of the cushion. So I've resetted my machine. I'm going to take this to the machine. So the first thing I do is I put my fabric under and I get comfortable. All you're going to do, if you have any fabric to the right of your needle, you're just going to bunch that up, which is why I will say practice on smaller pieces first, and then once you get into doing the quilting, you can then start doing bigger projects. And also on these, you say they look a bit frosty. I always say they look like your bathroom window. It's got an anti-slip technology on both sides. So what we want to do is, I've got my little catchphrase, Becky. I don't know if you've heard my little catchphrase. You want grippy on the top, slippy on the bottom. Because you want to be able to move, keeping everything together here, but move it all at the same time, hence the slippy on the bottom. Great. Now, we did have the free motion slider sheets, but we've sold out of them, and I don't know when we're going to be able to get them back in. The other thing you can use in the meantime is our stick away. Spray top of your machine and give it a little buff up, makes it extra slippy. Top tip.
Great tip.
And then the other thing for grippy on the top is our quilting gloves. Mine are well used, because I do use them all the time. I use them for my free motion work with my pattern guides, but the other thing I use them for is if I've got a big project. I know this isn't that big a project, but if I've got a big project that I'm just joining, or I'm doing straight stitching with my walking foot, this helps you manoeuvring, because if anyone's like, if you may have found like I do, sometimes my hands ache and my wrists ache because I'm lumping big things around trying to stitch them, not necessarily doing free motion. I put my gloves on, because we've got rubberized tips on here, it just gives you that extra grip. Or if you've got dexterity problems as well, try them, because that's going to, you know, help to a certain extent.
And if you do want them, they're at the bottom of your screen right now, $6.99 or $9.95 if you fancy them.
Right, so what I've done now is I've lined up, so my centre of my, the black point I put on my work, on my cushion front, I've centred that in the centre hole on my pattern guide, and then I'm moving it to a position to start the first one. I'll just move that a little bit, let me move that, there we go. And then what I'm going to do is put my foot down in there. Now, I'm just going to take my gloves off for this first, because I want to bring that bottom thread up. So if I can find my original thread, there we go. And daft TV nails, Becky, honestly.
We were just saying how lovely they are.
Oh, I just had them done again. They needed doing, and they were getting a bit long, and I can't work with long nails. So I've got hold of my top thread. Excuse me. And I've just dropped my needle and back up again and just brought that bobbin thread up. And what this does is it saves your stitching getting in a knot behind. And I'm just going to stitch on the spot a few times just to get that brought up there. Right, so gloves back on. And let's do a little bit of stitching. So all we're going to do is, like I say, we're going to keep everything together on the top. So the guide with the project, and I'm going to have both my hands on here, and I'm just, I say, hugging the side of the guide with the foot. And what I'm doing there is I'll use whatever's to hand, so my screwdriver or your stitch and pick or your little scissors or something. You know, I've just got those starter threads out the way. Now you can trim them at this point, or you can take them through to the back later. And I'm just going around. You see, I'm just taking my time. I'm not rushing. No. I'm just going around each section, keeping that project and guide together. And then when I get to a piece and think, oh, I'm in a bit of an awkward position there, stop with your needle down. You can just rotate your work and the guide. Can you see how we're just turning it round there?
So you can do it so that it's comfortable for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can see now, anyone who's watched me before knows how fast I sew.
Yes.
You can see I'm sewing
quite slowly.
Can't even talk at a slightly slow speed. All the S's. Today I have got a stitch a speed on my machine. I haven't actually. I normally have it just set just over half on my machine at home. But what I would say is just you'll find that you'll start getting your action, because it's how fast that you move your project.
Okay.
As well, that's the thing. Okay. So I'm going to leave my needle down there, and I'm going to say, right, well, I want to turn it around to do that other side.
Okay.
Okay. But with this one, if I want to do it opposite, what's going to happen is my center point is now over here. Okay. But I want it to move to the center there. So all you need to do, I'm actually just going to cut my threads because they are going to get in my way. Where's my little scissors? I'll tell you what would have been better. I've got my little scissors here, but our little curved scissors that we've got, because your curved scissors are going to stay away from your fabric, and there's no chance of you snipping into your fabric, especially when you're this close. Actually, do you know what? I'm not going to go opposite. I'm going to go round. I'm going to go this way on.
Okay.
Okay, let's get it in the right place. Here we go. Right, so what I want to do is I want to do a little bit of just sort of free motion until I get that over to there. So there we go. So you can see I've never ever taken my needle out. There we go. So I've just done a little about an inch worth of stitch. To go along. Now you don't have to do this, you follow the instructions on the back of here and you'll get the perfect points all the way around.
Great.
But because I'm only doing two opposite, then that's how you just walk along, if you like. Just do a few little steps to get in position. And then again, I'm just going all the way around and I'm just hooking that there. I need now to turn it because I want to be in a better position for me to stitch. And I've got a little bit of pressure on, like I'm pressing down a little bit, but not too much, because obviously if you press too much, you're going to press it against your extension table and nothing will move anywhere. So I've just turned it round, just a nice leisurely pace, back to the top there. And then what I need to do now is join up my two lines. So I don't know if you can quite tell, you can see where I've stopped here, and this is where I started. Yes. But if we look on this side, there's my walking line that I did last time. So all I'm going to do now is just a little walk over to there, because I want mine to join up, because I'm only going to do two. And a few stitches on the spot to finish. Get the gloves off. There we go. And then I'm going to cut. So I'd say you can take your thread through to the back so you haven't got short edges on the top. There we go. So if I bring that now, you can't see where I've stitched. Because the fabric's so busy, you can't see where I've stitched. Because I've done there, I've got my guide all the way around there. You see better? Oh, you can see better on the back. There we go. If I turn it over on the back, you can see I went a bit wobbly there. But you can see there how I've done a totally different shape in the pair as to what you would get on the packaging.
That's great.
Just because I had a play. And that's what you're going to do as well. You're just going to have a play and just enjoy it. And this is where, again, with those border ones, You could go and do the small border ones around your outside of your border of your cushion as well. So you can mix and match them. You know, there's no saying you just have to do that one because it says it's rotating. Actually, with the rotating ones, you think you could go along and use them as a border as well. So they're absolutely amazing. I love them. I don't have anywhere near as much time as I would like to play with them at home, but I'm definitely going to be doing one of those mandala ones and getting me paints out on them, Becky.
Oh, you'll have to.
I'm off when I'm off. Next time I'm off,
yeah,
that's what I'm going to do.
That's brilliant. You're going to have a great time. We absolutely adore all of these treats, and as I did promise you at the start of the show, we also love a bargain, and that is what Save a Stitch is all about. We are going to be bringing to you your wonderful needs, and we're going to be bringing them to you at great prices. Starting off with your mini patchwork templates. In here, you are going to be getting 12 different elements, and these are going to give you that really concise finish every single time. Now you're getting all of these shapes included. You don't have to pick your favorite, and dependent on how you lay them, a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, will depend on the overall effect that you get. If I turn this around, you can actually see in here just some of the ways you can do these. And we can build them up to do geometric designs, to do you know, sort of starburst designs. You have got so many different ones in here, including but not limited to the likes of your tumbler, the likes of your honeycomb, and the likes of your quarter square triangle. There's a lot of different looks that you can get just with a pack like this, isn't there, Bernie?
Oh, there is. I love these. I've got a few samples to show you, but just let me show you what comes in the packaging first. Now, yours will come all neat, all in the little slots on the card, but each and every one has a little hole in it. You can see there we've got a little hole in there. Now what I do, and I thought I'd put it in my craft caddy and I haven't, I bought some inexpensive shower curtain hooks.
Yes.
And put them all onto there. You're going to keep them all together as well.
Ooh.
Perfect, brilliant. And like I say, these are perfect for your 2.5 inch strips, for your strip rolls, or you could cut with your shape creator, cut all your strips out. And then inside we are giving you all of the directions on how to do them, including a handy chart which shows which work with which. So for example, the 60-degree diamond one will work with the equilateral triangle, the half hexagon and the half rectangle triangle. The half square triangle will work with the square, the quarter square triangle and the 45-degree diamond. So we give you that, and then inside we are giving you some starters of designs to try of all the different shapes, and then on the back as well. So it gives you that inspiration, and then just a few quick samples. So on here we've got the squares and the rectangles here as well. You can do little cushions, so they don't have to be big projects. Love this one. This is the half hexie. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Again, you're getting like that 3D effect on there. So that's your half hexie. Here's your tumbler. I love it.
Whoa!
Look at, I mean, this is a different pattern here, but if you've got your pattern guides all over there, and then lastly, we've got the diamonds as well. Brilliant. And this is a bag. So you can see how you can make lots of even big projects. You can stitch them by hand as well, but these are perfect, absolutely, for any time where you just think, oh, I just want to start something new. What can I'll get my patchwork templates out and see what I can make.
Definitely, all about that exploration. And I'm looking at these and I'm actually thinking, for paper crafting, you can draw around these, get the perfect shape and do almost paper piecing with them. 20% discount on that today, so seize the moment if you wish to grab them to create that beauty. Now, if you're going to be making clothing, purses, bags, whatever it might be, you're gonna need a zip. And I have got a selection of zips for you to choose from. Each of these are 5 meter in length, and they have the slider section. You're getting 10 of them on here. I'm bringing you a selection of different colors, okay? So you can cut this to whatever size you want, up to 5 meters. Starting with your gray, that's on screen right now. Platinum price on this is just £6.39 or $7.96. It's a buy one, get one half price deal though. I've not just got that one, I'm also bringing to you the hot red, and this is a popping red, real sort of phone box red. It's a beautiful bold colour. Again, 10 of the sliders on there. Not stopping with that one though, I've also got probably one of the most versatile. This one nearly always sells out. It's denim. It's your denim blue. Really lovely rich colour there. And remember, because you've got the 10 sliders, you can use 2 sliders on one length of zip if you want to. It's absolutely up to you. Again, buy one, get one half price. The blush green for me is going to go great with those fabrics we've launched today. If you've already treated yourself to any of the duck egg background ones or the countryside ones, for example, the you know, the Country Life on Grey that we launched today, this would go great with Country Life on Grey. So if you do want to make with that, it's a perfect one. And then of course it wouldn't be Crafters TV without your purple, bringing to you that beautiful bright purple colour. And that again is a buy one get one half price. Bernie, what have you got in front of you?
Well, I've got the red one, but also I've just got my cushion front that I was starting there. You've got all the little bit of red in the hen and the rooster as well. So the red one would actually go really well with that and really strike it and pull the other colours out of your fabric as well. These are great. I love them, Becky. You see you're getting that 5 metre length and you're getting 10 of these sliders, which are absolutely great. So you can choose any size if you want a little tiny diddy one, if you're making a little zip out. Now our producer Erin today has brought in, she's been making some of these, and they're absolutely fantastic. So you don't need a lot of zippage, and like Becky's saying there, you can swap and change the sliders and do 2-tone different colours as well, and you can actually swap and change and have 2 different half colours of zip because it's the same product, just a different colour. Oh, well, we'll have to try that one, Becky.
Yeah, I love that idea. If you would like to create that, all of the info's on screen. All you have to do is pick your favourite colours. We have also got for you in our Save a Stitch your 6-in-1 quilting pattern guide, and I've got a few different varieties for you. This one is your set 1, and as you can see in this, the different elements of designs that you can get for small projects and large projects. You've got all of the information on here as to exactly how to use it, and again you can use it dependent if you're low or high shank. I've also got set 3 here for you. Now set 3 for me is a little bit almost more intricate looking. However, just with me saying that, don't let it put you off because the guide itself is going to make it so simplistic. I've also got the arcs in this one. Now I don't have this one, but lovely Bernie does. And Bernie, I know that you use the arcs a lot at home, don't you?
I do. I like this one because this is the arcs, but it is a half circle as well. So you are getting all of the different sizes in there. And again, they all mix and match as well. For example, if we look at those one you showed before there, Becky, you've got your circle. I call them circle and paisley because that's like a paisley sign in there. That's set 3 and that one's set 1. If I just show you this runner that I've got here, uses all that ruler of the paisley. So we've got the waves, we've got the what I call the Taj Mahal, we've got the paisley and the paisley, and then we've got those shapes again. You can see how they've just been done within each block, so it's not all over as well. And then, you know, with your arcs, my favourite one, I'm going to have to grab the sample because I've just left it down here. I'm just going to show you this one here. This is the scallop. So in that set, it's the scallop. But how fab is this for a really simple baby quilt? Blue and white. Our Rachel in the office has just had a little boy, hasn't she? This will be perfect for her. This is the scallop, but it looks like clouds. Yeah, and you see the effect of just doing, there's the shape there. Absolutely fantastic. And I say you've got so many choices, you can mix and match them as well.
They're beautiful, and if you do want the scallops, I have got it right here for you. Just to give you an idea of the actual guide again, you are looking at nearly 6 inches by 10.5. So if you do want to get that one, it's a nice big size. And I have also got for you the chevrons. I think the chevrons are a really underrated one because what you've got here is something that looks so simplistic, but it means that you can layer these up, you can make them diamonds. They're great for sort of geometric kind of effects as well. Today for you, just $9.99 or $12.47. That is a half price deal, so you can seize the moment on that one. There's been loads of treats on today, right, Bernie?
There's been so much. I've got a cushion here, just as you were saying. Plain fabric, all the chevrons, making all those sizes. We've used a variegated thread as well. How fantastic is that? It's just a small cushion, you know, start small, work your way up. You will be a little bit scared at first because you think, oh, this is different to my normal sewing, but once you get the hang of it, you'll love it.
Absolutely, and this is the thing, once you've got the right tools, it can be really, really good fun. So do seize the moment on those, treat yourself to the Saver Stitch whilst you can. Bernie, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for this pre-record. Enjoy your weekend off. Are you doing anything nice?
Well, no, I'm just going to have a nice quiet week at home. Maybe a couple of little shopping trips, maybe. Fabric shopping, maybe.
To me. Enjoy it. Do treat yourself to any of that new fabric. Thank you, as always, for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye, my love.